What's going on, everybody? Hope you all are doing well today. I want to quickly go over our syllabi for this upcoming semester. We'll be going over social media strategies, which will be the class for fall of 2022. This will be an asynchronous class online through your As You Learn. So I will be constantly reminding you to make sure you pay attention to your As You Learn as you go through this. So, hello, my name is Dr. Emery Daniel. If you would like, you can refer to me as Dr. Daniel, Professor Daniel. Those are my kind of preferred titles when it comes to emails. But usually, if it's nothing derogatory, I will answer to it. You can see my office phone as well as my office. Main contact is right here, Daniel ES at appstate.edu. I kind of have to stress that because I want to make sure that those emails go in the right place. So welcome, everybody. This is going to be a really fun class, I think. This is something I've been teaching for a number of years, but over the last semester, I've kind of done a significant overhaul about what we should be looking into studying about and how should we approach this particular subject. So I think it went really well last semester when I taught it, and I'm really looking forward to implementing it in an online section. So I'm not going to go too much into the kind of ins and outs of social media strategies just yet. I'm going to save that for the first lecture, but basically the idea is understanding a little bit of not only how to implement your message on social media from an organizational perspective, but how to look at analytics, how to do things ethically and appropriately. Different types of social media is what we would call transmedia, which we'll talk more about that throughout the course of the semester. So you basically using these tools of social media to get a message across based on your mission statement, based on your organization and what have you. So I will say through everything that we're going to go on through here, a lot of this will be not only looking into your how you post, but mainly how to post as, again, an organization, and looking at some of the thematic elements that makes a good organizational social media presence. And so we'll not only see some examples of places that do that really well, but also how you can do that. So I do have one required text. It's the Kim book from 2016. And the main reason I use this still, and this is a rental through our bookstore, main reason I still use this is that it has a lot of good implementation for the strategies within social media. So some of the things will be a little bit outdated, but the core concepts of like how to draw up what we call a SMART plan will be implemented in there. And that's a very helpful thing to be able to look through. This is where the biggest overhaul came through when I started doing this. So there were some people that were not especially in love with the idea of not having many assignments. So we changed a lot of that. So you will have things through like class participation, which will be your forums for this class. You will be drawing up what is called a SMART plan, which you will have ample time to know what that is. But it's basically, what is your plan for a proposed organization and how you are going to post, how often should you post, et cetera, for the upcoming year. You'll have a new social media presentation, which will just be a recorded lecture of something that you have found over the past year or 2 or 3 years of a new social media that has kind of taken off. So we'll talk more about what can be expected and what certain ones I'm kind of like, let's move on because they're not that new anymore. You'll notice on a couple of these, so like right here under 4 and right here under 7, you'll notice that there are a lot of percentages here. These add up to number 4. So reels, memes, newsjacking all add to your creative assignments at 15%. So they're not much, but the point of all this is that I want you to start creating things in social media for doing reels, whether it be Instagram Live, TikTok, for instance, creating memes, newsjacking, which we'll cover over. But the idea here is to get some practice and to be able to create these. And not only that is when it comes to your service proposal, I will want examples of all of these in your final project. So everything that we're going to be doing here is going to be implemented in your final project. And the main reason for that is to make sure that, again, you're just getting ample practice throughout. You'll have a social media analysis, which we'll cover over, as well as an influencer report. This is becoming a much, much bigger factor in terms of what we have to plan for as people that work in social media. And then the last is a service proposal. So I'm not going to make you actually conduct a service event, although I have done that in the past. But the idea here is basically to have a presentation selecting your client, which can be a local or a regional or national business, a social media posting. Basically, you're not going to actually post these online because I don't know that those particular organizations might appreciate that too much unless they give you unless they allow you to. But the idea here is to be able to create sample posts, which may or may not include reels, memes, newsjacking, etc. And then a day of event proposal. So again, we'll go over all of this, but the idea here is to always get everything involved into this final project. So, and hopefully, you know, if you are creating this, you will have an opportunity, say if you're going to use a local client, to be able to show this to them of what they could do better with their social media. Grades are going to be pretty standard from what the Appalachian grading scale is. Participation will be a little bit different, but the idea here is if you are participating, if you are in terms of on forum posts, if you are turning things in on time, that is going to be the things that I'm looking for. I will also mention that replies, and for that matter, replies that are courteous to the other, even if you disagree with somebody, the courtesy is what I'm going to be consistently looking for. Anytime that you reply to a forum post, whether it's something I say, whether it's something your classmate says, again, it doesn't bother me if you disagree with something. That is all part of debate. But at the same time, I want to make sure that we are doing so in an ethical fashion, in a courteous fashion. So anything that you need to let me know as far as if something is coming up late, or if you have a religious observation that you have to go through, or disability purposes, make sure to just let me know as soon as possible so that I can best accommodate you as soon as possible in any circumstance. I've already gotten a few emails about joining this class and so forth, and I want to make sure that I am on top of that as much as possible. I will say an email policy, and this is just right before I get to the outline. An email policy is give me about 12 to 24 hours to answer. I'm usually a lot quicker than that, but give me that time to be able to answer you. And usually I prefer somebody refers to me kind of in the Dear Dr. Daniel, let me know your name, etc. With any email. I will extend the courtesy on my end as well to address you as you would like to be addressed as well. So that is going to be up on your As You Learn for your About You section. And I also have an About Me section because I just like small talk every now and again. So the last thing I'll go over just real quick is, and then you can read through this, I keep these pretty open for the weeks, but I do try to make sure that the assignments are going to stay pretty on par in terms of when things are due. So like, for example, the end of week 2, we'll do some client selection presentations, but we'll go over a little bit of what are some of the readings that you will have to do. I will be continuously posting those up on As You Learn, so make sure that you're paying attention to them throughout. And I will potentially have some guest lectures about some of this material here. Like I've got a good lecture about podcasting that I've already done, but I would love to have another opportunity to talk with some of those folks again. So anyway, just kind of keep an eye on these. I will say kind of starting I don't know, in the middle of October or beginning of October, things are going to really crank up in terms of things that are due. So again, keep an eye out on the syllabi, keep an eye out on As You Learn consistently. Um, that will be something that will create great success. And I will try to make sure to post every now and again a forum to look into what are some things that you want to talk about. What are some things that I could be doing better in terms of lecturing, because asynchronous communication is a bit difficult when it comes to teaching. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, and we're all going to have a lot of good, informative, and maybe fun information to go along here. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk with you all very soon. Thanks.